Kofi Cooks. 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 Kofi Cooks.
Taxi and room 26101 show.
Screen, here we go. 1 second here. Let's go ahead and change this up real quick. My fault. Shit. What was I doing? Oh yeah. 1 second, guys. All right. Here we go. Give me a second, guys. I'm just trying to get this this picture up here for just a second. I think I fucked up. All right. Here we go. Just a second. All right. How's everybody's day going on, by the way? You know what I mean? Hope everybody's doing well. Some big gains today, man. Let's take a look at GameStop for a minute, man. Hold on. God damn it, why is this shit not working? Oh, okay. This is what I forgot to do. Hold on. I made a boo-boo. All right. So let me go ahead and fix this real quick. Show you guys something real quick. Let me try to blow this up. I actually got this on the wrong screen. All right. Hopefully you guys can see this. It's loading up. Okay. Let me get this off of here because this is oh shit. Didn't mean to do that. All right. What's that time? AMC. There you go. You guys can hear me now. I'm sorry. All right. I apologize, folks. I was trying to get things all sorted out here. So AMC and GameStop got some pretty big gains today. Pretty big gains today. At 103.94%, GameStop went up. I saw this. I was watching this too. I didn't buy a share, but I was watching this, while I was working at working. I was watching the stock market as it was rising. Pretty big gains, as well as AMC. Now, I know a lot of y'all thinking to yourselves, like, what the hell is going on? Like, this wasn't expected. It wasn't expected for a big rise in GameStop and also in AMC. Now, I don't know. It's very strange how the market is playing out these days. It's very strange. It's not what I expected, but I gotta really pay attention very close to GameStop and AMC. I think once they do have another shortage or another shorts, I think it's time for us to probably gain in some cash when it comes down to GameStop. Take a look at GameStop and AMC. Just think about it, right? AMC's got the new Mortal Kombat game. That's not Mortal Kombat game. Jesus Christ, I just woke up. I'm sorry. The new Mortal Kombat movie that's going to be coming out possibly in April. So that's something to really watch out for. I would definitely aim for AMC stocks. I would also do, before I do get into this video too, by the way, because I am not a financial expert. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a I'm not a licensed professional. This is for entertainment purposes only. So this is just based off my opinion. So if I say, hey, get this, it's not my solo responsibility. If you decide to want to place your bids or buy your shares, you buy at your own risk. Shout out to Javon. What up, Angie? You wasn't playing in the last video. Yeah, appreciate that, man. But hey, I was just speaking on a lot of things that was going on in my mind. You know how I do it. It is what it is. But GameStop, AMC is on fire, man. Very much on fire. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me see if I can go ahead and put this in the chat room. Um, uh, 1 second, folks. I'm trying to post this up on the chat room in just a second. Shout out to the new subscribers. Thank you all for joining the show. Thank you all. Get those thumbs up, man. I greatly appreciate it. It does help out my revenue and trafficking when it comes down to videos. So let's get those thumbs up. Pass the videos around. Write your comments. I do read your comments and I do respond to your comments, man. So, Jesus, what is wrong with this thing? I don't know. Sorry, guys. Just bear with me for a sec. Why is this glitching? I don't know. All right. Let me type this in. All right. You guys could feel free. This is an open discussion. We're going to be talking about shares, stocks, what we could look for in a week, and what are some things that maybe you guys may have some inputs on what's new in the stock market. Have you seen any interesting gains and interesting shares, companies? One moment. Shit. Okay, here we go. All right. So, hold on. GameStop was pretty damn impressive, man. Pretty damn impressive this week. I'm very surprised at the total gains of GameStop, how fast it's risen, within a 24-hour span period. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about this one. I don't know what to say. The investment trolls are working their magic again, and they're disrupting the market. GameStop is one of those companies that are wasn't really expected to get a boost uh, within this week of uh, money towards shares, I guess. But listen, here's the thing. I always say the power is within the people. People are making their investments, so they're keeping GameStop very much alive. Reddit, whatever they're trying to do. But I would keep a close eye look. Here's what I'm reading right now. They're saying that GameStop could expect it to reach an all-time high by the end of next week of $350 before it decides to do its dip. So it's still not too late if you guys are trying to banking on buying some GameStop shares. If you can't even afford any shares, I would at least do the back end. You could buy partial shares. Just my opinion. You could put some money into partial shares. That's what I did, and just watch the roller coaster go up. But it's expected to make a huge dip, so you better watch out too because it will make a huge dip. AMC, I'm also bidding for that. I also did a buy put option, which I'll show you guys in just a second with my uh uh Robinhood account. Hold on, let me see if I can get on the screen real quick. Okay. See, here's the thing, man. Robinhood did really, I mean, not Robinhood, but the stock market did really bad. I mean, it ended off pretty damn bad, man. Like, it started off okay this morning. Wasn't as great, I wouldn't say. Um, Let me see. That was from yesterday. Let's look at the chart from this morning. Opening bells at 9:30. Didn't really have a strong opening though, man. And if you look at it, it wasn't all that great. But anyways, this is what I did today. I did a buy put sale. Um, in my option trading calls, I bid for AMC to go down. I did like a probably like a small bid because it's the market is just very, very weird lately. It's just been acting very weird. But I got an extended contract all the way to April the 16th. Now I am expecting AMC to rise because of its new movies that's going to be released, and also the new Mortal Kombat movie that's out. So I'm bidding actually for the share to go down. But you know how the stock market goes. It's as you can see with the charts, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. I'm just waiting for that huge dip to happen, and I'm gonna cash in and make my money that way. I was able to make off of Dropbox, off of a buy call sale. I made I made $42 off the contract, so that's a big gain. As you can see, in my buying power availability, it was last time I was talking to you guys, I had about what 9 or 10 bucks in here. So I did a couple of option calls while I was at work, and I was able to score some funds. So it's risen up to $73.44. Because whenever you do buy trading here and there, your money you will start to see your credit start to add up. So yeah. As far as that goes, I would I'm playing the poor man's game because obviously this is a small account. I don't have, as you can see, a lot of money in here compared to most big investors. Um, but my goals is to with JetBlue, I want to be able to purchase. Um, I want to be able to have the exercise and rights to purchase 100 contracts. I want to buy 100 shares because as the economy starts to open up and gradually open up, uh, airlines will start to increase. Um, well, all these shares are bound to go up regardless or not as soon as the economy starts to flourish. But especially airlines like JetBlue and American Airlines, so I'm banking big. I do want to exercise. I'm going to show you guys live if I do get the actual contract, if I do get the striking price. I'm going to show you guys how I exercise my rights into buying 100 shares because I think you guys saw in my last video how I was able to uh, buy the contract and sell the contract at a striking price or even before the striking price to gain myself some sort of profit. So one thing with the contracts is as long as you're in the money before your expiration date, if you do a buy call, you're always a winner. You're always in the win, no matter what. So you have a chance on still gaining some profit. Now, if you do tend to um, have a contract and you're doing day trading and you're not in the money, uh, chances are whatever the value is worth at that time, that's how much you'll get. If you're at the expiration date and you haven't been into the money, then that contract becomes worthless and then you gain nothing. That's why, when it comes down to, buying, oh shit, what's going on? Okay, my Google Chromes is not responding. Great. All right, here we go. Give me a second. I'm in the freezing mode. All right. Jesus, come on. Ah. Okay, I'm frozen up, guys. Give me a All right, guys. Wow. Okay. I apologize for that. I've had some Jesus Christ. Hold on. I'm sorry about that, guys. I had some technical difficulties, man. I'm going through some shit right now. Jesus Christ. Hold on. What the fuck? Okay, hold on, guys. I'm going through some problems here with my internet connection here. All right. Can you guys hear me out here? All right. I apologize, guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this back on the screen. Um Jesus Christ. This is fucking ridiculous. All right, hold on. It's fucked up my whole screen in here. All right. I apologize, guys, man. I was having some technical difficulties, man. Um let's get back in here. I apologize, guys. It looks like I had some internet connections going on. It was bouncing me back and forth. But anyways, so anyways, back to JetBlue. Um, my whole thing, my whole option plan is to get 100 shares. So I'm doing a buy call, and my expiration date ends March 19th. So I'm gonna try to have the funds so I could buy all the contracts, all 100 contracts at $12 per share. No, I'm sorry. The average cost per share, I'm sorry, at 12 cents per share. I'm gonna try to buy 100 contracts at 12 cents per share. So, yeah. I hope you guys can hear me out there, man. I hope there's no crazy funky shit going on right now with the internet, but I apologize like I said once again. We'll try to get this back in order. All right, so check this out, man. I came across this article of a square, right? I know, a square, right? I know you guys are thinking about Square that actually was able to cash in $1 million. Okay, a Square buys $170 million worth of Bitcoin. Now I know what you guys are thinking, like, well, how the hell did this guy get the money to buy $170 million worth of Bitcoin, right? A Square himself. Nah, well, listen, not that type of Square. Okay, actually, this type of Square. I'll show you guys in just a second. I know some of y'all probably thinking of a Square, so but actually, Square Inc. actually purchased $170 million worth of Bitcoin. Uh Square right now, Inc. Is at what, $227.11. So these are some things to look out for: the volatility and dividency. Now, as you can see, like the markets had a big major crash at the end of this of today. So things are not looking too great. But be on the lookout for cryptocurrency and Bitcoin to be on a rise of any sort. Um Elon Musk said something about doggy coin, but he's always he I don't know, he's trolling around the place, man, and just confusing a lot of people in the market on where they should put their money to. And I've said this a lot of times too with a lot of these investors, right? A lot of them will kind of throw you off your game and kind of discourage you from where you should put your money at. I've always said this, right? I always go by a philosophy uh where they say go right, I always go left. I always do my diligence research on certain things before I decide to just go ahead and uh make that decision on investing. But anyways, the company Square bought 170 million worth of Bitcoins. The company revealed in its fiscal fourth quarter financial report on Tuesday. The company said it purchased approximately 3,318 Bitcoins, expanding on its October 2020 buy of 4,709 Uh, Square said it represents about 5% of the company's total assets as of the end of 2020. Bitcoin traded around $48,000 after the bell on Tuesday, but nearly 62% for this year. The investment is like a part of a Square ongoing uh, commitment to Bitcoin, and the company plans to assess its investments in Bitcoin. It's also related to its other investments on the ongoing bias. The company says its earnings release, its CEO, Jack Dorsey, has also been an advocate of the digital currency. Companies are increasingly learning into Bitcoin. I'm sorry, companies are increasingly leaning onto Bitcoin as it becomes more mainstream. Tesla announced earlier this month that it bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin for more flexibility to further diversity and maximize returns in our cash. Now, I've always said that Bitcoin is always a last reserve just in case if the stock market is not doing as well in volatility. Uh, Bitcoin is a different set of entity, which is pretty much dealing with digital coins. Um, I also have some funds invested into Bitcoin as well. Uh, Now Bitcoin, like I said, I can't afford a coin. And I'm not gonna be spending 48,000 or $50,000 on a fucking coin. But I'll tell you this though, I do put partial money in towards it because it's expecting to go up. Even if you put $50 or even $100, man, you're still in the money. Bitcoin is the future. I look inside local stores, I see a lot of ATMs that are Bitcoins that are heavily on the rise. So right next to ATMs. So that's a good indication. People were saying, well, is it going to replace, you know, is it going to replace the dollar? I don't think so, but they're saying by 2036 that Bitcoin will replace the dollar. So who knows? But I doubt it. I don't think so. But the dollar will still have its value and its worth. But people will be going more into digital coining because if you look at it, we're at the age where we've been through the cash era, then we're doing credit cards and debit cards for the most part people use. Now it's gonna be digital money. Um, that will be the new thing now. People won't be having out cash in their pockets. Everything's gonna be digital. Um, it's more secure, they think. A lot of American Express has also signed some deals with Bitcoin as well. So Bitcoin looks like it's have a promising future. GameStop, man. I don't know. I don't know what's the frenzy with GameStop, but from what I'm reading right here, if you haven't invested into GameStop, I would totally do so right now because it's expected by next week to go from now till next week to go to $350. Now, be expected for some lows. There's going to be some dips, and it might take a huge dip before it becomes high again, but it's expected to go up again since they say. But then again, we don't know. AMC's been doing its magic too. I'm expecting AMC to gradually go up as well, especially in the month of April with the new Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out. So be on the lookout for that. AMC is definitely a choice. Um, but I am going to try to cash in on the lows. So when it does that dip, that's when I'm going to cash in my money and try to probably get about 100 shares of I'll probably end up buying 100 shares. I'll exercise my contract rights if it hits that striking point to get 100 shares of AMC. I don't know why I keep saying MCO. AMC, or I might just end up selling the contract entirely for itself and end up buying multiple shares. So that's what I usually do. This one guy asked me like, well, do you like sell the contract and then you can use the money and spend it? You can, but um I wouldn't. I mean, the whole goal is to invest and try to see your money grow. I don't like to take my money out of the stock market unless, I really need to, but what's the point? I haven't reached into the point where I'm in the hundreds of thousands of dollars. When I get to there, then I'll do so. But until then, I don't have any plans on trying to cash out any funds. But yeah, that's my whole deal. Um Get those likes, by the way. Subscribe, comment to the channel, man. If you guys would like to join in, feel free. If you guys have any stock news, any interesting topics that you'd like to talk about, feel free. Let me see if I can find any more things. I'm sorry about earlier, man. We had a crazy fucking crash, man, with the internet, man. I don't know what the hell's going on here. It's like I guess the 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 um the YouTube gods out there, they don't want me to put out any content. Now I was supposed to post this live podcast at 11 o'clock originally, but since I got home early from work, I said fuck it, let me just go ahead and do it. But shout out to everybody. I hope everybody's evening's doing great. Um, did you guys make any money today? Any interesting gains? I like to hear some stories, man, if anybody made any money. GTA 5, I heard that they're doing a ban on GTA 5, which is kind of crazy. There's a new bill that's being passed on GTA, which could put some toll into some things. Let me see if I could get that story up on here. This could probably affect uh EA Sports or one of the what else? It could possibly affect a lot of those game companies. I don't know if what is the game company that produces GTA? Is it Rockstar Entertainment? Yeah. So I was coming across this article, right? Please don't freeze up on me again. Thank you. Jesus Christ. Okay. I gotta delete some stuff on my computer, but yeah. But okay. So GTA may be banned if this new bill passes by. It says Grand Theft Auto, also known as GTA 5, may be banned if a new bill passes. This isn't the first time the series and its developers of Rockstar Games have attached the attention of lawmakers and the US government. They've been trying to really get rid of GTA, Grand Theft Auto. Now, a lot of people have been asking, okay, with Rockstar's enterprises associated with GameStop and other companies who have investments with Rockstar, they said well, a lot of people were saying, well, what's going on with GTA 6 and are they in developing stages of making it? Yeah, they've actually are in the developing stages of making it, but here's the thing. There's a lot of laws that's being put in place now where the government officials are not too keen on bringing out your traditional Grand Theft Auto uh, essence because of the state of mind that we're in today's culture with uh, violence. Jesus Christ, with violence and I guess they're talking about video games leading to massive school shootings, and such a yada 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 yada, which is a bunch of bullshit. I don't know why that's why they have ratings on these video games. I've played Grand Theft Auto. I grew up off of playing Grand Theft Auto. I grew up off of playing Mortal Kombat that have a lot of violence, but you don't see me going on anywhere trying to, rip somebody's head off or shoot up a school or something. I mean, that's ridiculous. But unfortunately, lawmakers are trying to pass a bill to stop Grand Theft Auto. So just imagine they put a ban on Grand Theft Auto. Well, if you're gonna say that because of violence and you're gonna put a ban on Grand Theft Auto, shit, you might as well put a ban on movies then. You might as well put a ban on all sorts of video games. Mortal Kombat. Shit, Mortal Kombat, people ripping people's heads off and doing fatalities and stuff. Like if that's the case, you might as well put a ban on those violent games too. I grew up off those violent games in the 90s. And let me tell you something. Those games are not going to influence anybody to do school shootings. School shootings will still happen. Violence will still happen, regardless if you have these games or not. So games are not influencing people to do violent shit. If anything, games influence people to be at home and play and do violent shit than actually go out there and do violent shit. So, I've always thought about video games as being a form of therapy, a form of uh mental therapy. I never thought games would influence me. Like, oh, I see like this guy out there banging hoes and prostitutes, and that's gonna or selling drugs, and that's gonna influence me to go out there and do that. Really? From a video game? Yeah, okay. An amendment that wants to just ban the sale of games featuring psychological harm and carjacking to minors. Are you fucking serious right now? But to adults as well, according to Evans. These type of games promote criminal activities. Everybody knows that Grand Theft Auto's criminal activity, but how many games do you know is so what are we supposed to do, right? What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to all sit down and play Fortnite and shit. So EA Sports and all these other companies that's benefiting from the sales of Grand Theft Auto and GameStop is gonna take a big hit because lawmakers is trying to put in these laws to ban the Grand Theft Auto series. So if they're gonna do this and try to ban GTA 5, so hey, don't don't put your hopes up on a GTA 6 to come out. And if it does come out, it'll probably look like some soft porn. It'll probably look like something like Fortnite, man. When you just imagine GTA, you walk around, you got a gun, and then you shoot somebody with like a water pistol and shit, and they just like blow up, and then you got like a little numbers that pop up out of nowhere with a bunch of coins. That's gonna be it's going no the GTA 6 is gonna look like Sonic the Hedgehog, man. When you just hit somebody and a whole bunch of coins just come out of nowhere, they just disappear, their bodies disappear. So this is so fucking stupid. I'm sorry, but it is. If people listen, if parents can stop little kids or just stop their kids from buying these games, look, they have uh a rated shit, I can't even think of it right now. A rated title for a reason for these games. That's why minors are not allowed, or small kids are not allowed to buy video games such as Grand Theft Auto or Mortal Kombat. But anyways, criminal activities, which is in turn a hurt to the community. The bill would prohibit the sales of some of these games that promote the activities that we are suffering from our communities, said Evans. Really? Adding to this, earlier Walker, the founder of Operations Safe Pump, and who has worked with Evans Jr. on the bill, to says GTA 5 in particular has become an issue. Lawmaker says, I feel, these are what the lawmakers are saying. I feel like this game has become a huge issue in the spectrum. Really? When we compare the two, you see harsh similarities as it relates to these carjackings, said Walker. In addition to banning the sale of games that fall under the aforementioned criteria, the bill would also change the definition of what a violent video game is, or more specifically, to the following: control a character within the video game that is encouraged to perpetuate human on human violence in which the player kills or otherwise cause serious physical and physicality harm to other humans or animals. But what about games like Call of Duty? I mean, you're shooting people all the time. You're like army people going out there and you're in competition, killing one another. Okay. And Grand Theft Auto, okay. you pick up hookers and strippers, and you smoke weed, and you get money, and you do carjacking and shit. How is that influencing people to want to go ahead and do that? It's a fucking video game. Like, if you cannot distinguish yourself from a reality from distinguish yourself from fiction to nonfiction, then you are the problem, not video games. You're the problem, because I've played violent video games all my life, and I've never been influenced to do physical harm on somebody because of a video game. I just don't get it. I played Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is a traditional game that I would play with my family, and that didn't influence me to go ahead and kill people. For now, it remains to be seen what will come of the bill, but has video game fans, and especially GTA fans, on alert, that said this isn't the first rodeo for either, and so far both have been largely untouched by government legislations. And of course, if this bill becomes law, more than just GTA will be impacted. So if they do push this law, okay, just think about the future of violent video games. Okay. See, I don't understand. When you have violent shows that's on Cinemax and HBO, Showtime, or even movies or horror movies or violent stuff that's on movies, um, if you're gonna blame video games, the government is gonna push these type of laws to ban these type of games. You might as well ban movies too. Oh my God, Mortal Kombat, the movie's coming out. These guys are doing fist pumping, and they're punching each other. They're doing harm to each other. We need to ban that movie too, right? Look at all the movies that we've seen in the past from the 90s that's been gory and violent and stuff. That's not going to influence people to do stupid shit. People are going to do stupid shit anyways. Okay? There's crazy nutheads in this world. We can't change that. And banning video games is not going to help the situation out either. Okay? But lawmakers trying to pass these bills and trying to destroy the entertainment purposes of these type of traditional games, which I love, like Mortal Kombat and Grand Theft Auto, or all these other games that will be impacted. Just think about it now. GameStop shares will go down because of that. EA Sports, EA, and all type of interactive game companies who have and Rockstar, who have heavily shares in the or companies in the stock market, will also take a big hit because of what's going on. So these lawmakers trying to pass in these laws to ban violent video games, they did this before. This is why there's a rating on these video games. Okay? That's why they check your ID to see if you're old enough to buy these games. Maybe they need to push up the age limit. Okay, do it to 21 years old. Now, if a person decides to want to go ahead and grab a gun and shoot somebody, oh, you're going to blame video games. See, it's always these old. I'm sorry, but I gotta keep it 100, man. It's always these older white folks who are past their prime, who haven't played a video game in their lifetime, want to blame video games because of this whole shit that's going on. Dude, really? We're in 2021. You know, violent video games have been around for years, and it hasn't been an influence on people trying to kill each other. I just don't understand why lawmakers are trying to pass out a bill to get rid of Grand Theft Auto and all these games. Because if it affects Grand Theft Auto, please believe it's going to affect Mortal Kombat and all these other games that are out here. Hold on. Okay. I'm just reading through here. This is for more coverage on all things gaming, including all the latest of Grand Theft Auto. Meanwhile, as well, feel free to let us know. such and such and such and such. PS4 and PS5 players upset over PlayStation state of play revels. PlayStation aired a new state of play presentation. I mean, I'm sorry, this afternoon, and fans walked away less than impressed. While PS5 new Final Fantasy 8, I believe that is, remake content proved exciting for some. The majority of these shows videos seem to fall flat. A number of fans compared the presentation to last week's Nintendo Direct. 'Cause people were looking for the next Grand Theft Auto. People are looking for the next Mortal Kombat or something, or one of their favorite games that they've been playing from the past old systems to see if they're going to be either remake or something new, like a Grand Theft Auto 6. But unfortunately, because of the lawsuits and lawmakers of what's going on in the play, this is why Grand Theft Auto is putting a hold on things. Well, I should say Rockstar, which is their co-founders of uh, Grand Theft Auto. The state of play more like a state of disappointment. But unfortunately, this is where people have to do their protesting and people need to start standing up against lawmakers and say that video games are not the cause of violence within people's family structure homes or people outside there in the communities. Because I've played games. There's many millions of people who've played violent games do not result into violence and want to go out there and commit violent activities. Because if that's the case, like I said, you might as well ban movies. You might as well ban movies, you know. Andrew, U.S. airstrikes in Syria. Really? What's going on over there in Syria? Are we at it with war? Biden has gotten us into war now. When in less than 100 days, we're out there doing airstrikes. Hey, you guys voted for this guy. This is what you get. This people are so emotional. They vote for a guy because they just don't like Donald Trump. Let's just face it. A lot of people who voted for Biden just voted for him because they just don't like Donald Trump and don't even know the policies of what he's trying to put out in America to flatten us all. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden, never have been. I'm not a Democratic supporter. I think Democrats, like I said a long time ago, they talk about Republicans are all for the rich, but it's quite funny that a lot of celebrities support Democratic agenda. So most celebrities are rich. So how are they all for the rich? Just think about it. See that little psychological mind that they play with you? I never felt that Biden was fit for the job, but that's just my opinion. I'm not a Democratic supporter. Never was. I've always been a conservative. Um, this guy says I'll play the FF7 upgrade near release of the next episode. What do you guys? How do you guys feel, man? Those of y'all who are gamers, man, and if you guys invested into GameStop and also have Sony shares, this is going to be an impact. If these lawmakers end up passing these laws, it's going to affect your shares in Sony and GameStop and EA. Then eventually, if they are able to pass that law, what makes you think they're not going to get into movies? You know, because movies have violence. It's going to impact the movie industry too, where they're going to get rid of all movies that have violent stuff in it. So we're supposed to just live in a phallic world, a little fantasy world where there's no violence being intended, right? Man, oh man. So what's going on with U.S. lawmen? What's going on with the airstrikes, man? Hold on, let me see if I can get some news here. Because airstrikes, news, if we're at it with war, that's gonna gradually affect our market too. 5G is something to look at too. Let me see if I can get this up here real quick and show you guys something. This is what I usually read into Yahoo Financial News. Um, this is where I get some of my news intel from regarding to finances and stocks and shares. So Brazil regulators approve of 5G spectrum action rules and new Huawei ban, if I'm pronouncing that right. John Thomas, what's going on, brother?
What's up?
Oh boy, what happened, man? Talk to me.
Well, nothing much, but yeah, those airstrikes, that was just like breaking news that occurred. I just saw it on just looking at the news on Google, and
So what's going?
it looks like it's they're targeting a base used by Iranian militia in Syria right now.
Interesting. Why is that?
From the article, it looks like there was attacks on U.S. soldiers in, I believe, in Iraq by this Iranian militia. So this could be like a retaliation. Like it was like a rocket attack. Because I remember seeing something in the news like a couple weeks ago. A couple of contractors were killed in Iraq from rockets fired.
You know what's so crazy? Not too long ago, maybe a couple of days ago, I saw a rocket in the sky. I don't know if you were able to see that, but I'm on the East Coast. I live in the South in Florida, and I saw a rocket in the sky. And I stopped and I looked at that. And I was like, it was a bright orange color. And it was just lifting up. It's a rocket. So there was a guy that was next to me, right? And I asked him, I said, what the hell is that in the sky? You see that shit? So he's looking up in the sky. He's like, yeah, it looks like a rocket. It's a rocket. But I said this to him, like, well, why are they shooting up a rocket in the sky? He's like, I don't know. Maybe they're just testing it out. I said, testing it out? I thought they stopped testing out rockets, didn't they? So it just comes to question, like, what's really going on here? Is there things that's going on that we're not aware of, and they're not letting the American people know what's going on? Like, do you kind of feel that way sometimes, that the news is overshadowing what's really going on in the world, and they're not letting us know?
Yeah, well, there's always experiments going on that's classified, as they say.
Man, and I think that this formality of this whole coronavirus is just an upstage hidden agenda to what's really going on. I don't know why I feel that way. I just don't know why. It's like all of a sudden it's like we have a new president, and oh, the counts are gone down, and you know, coronavirus is gone. It's not the big thing anymore. And then, everybody's getting back to normal. I mean, just think about it, man. If they were able to do a whole government shutdown in the world, I mean, people really need to wake up and realize that there is no safety net. If they were able to just shut down the whole economy just like that for a matter of months. And I don't know if you've kind of noticed that there's a pattern that happens every 5 to 10 years. There's always a course of events that's going on. Rather, like, for instance, back in 2000, we had the scare of the Y2K situation. In 2001, we had the terrorist attacks that happened. Then 2008, we had the recession. And then from 2008 to what 10 years later, we got we had some viruses that was being affected, that was coming out here and there. But coronavirus has been around for many years. It's just that it's just a flu. From what I was told, it's just a major, big, humongous flu. And we were told about this a while ago. The same thing with swine flu. Like there's always some sort of pandemic or some sort of flus that and diseases that were out there in control. Now, this is the one thing I did blame President Trump for is not listening to the medical advisors when it came down to this. He just didn't believe that this pandemic or this situation would come into upper hand, and he got caught off guard for doing that. And I wish he would have listened to those advisors, but unfortunately, it is what it is. This is where we're at, and now it looks like the pandemic is slowing down. Now, um, they have the vaccines that's out now. I sold my Pfizer share. I mean, I had like maybe 3 to 4 Pfizer shares. I sold them. I sold Madrina too because I started to see the declining results of what was going on with people uh what you would call it, having the side effects of this virus, and it was actually causing more fatalities. Now, I sold my shares, so I used the money that I sold my shares into investing into other things. But my question is, what do you think about this whole vaccine, man? I mean, do you think this vaccine, like Pfizer, do you trust this vaccine, or is it something that?
Yeah, I do. I think it's it's been developed very quickly, but it's I think it was boosted along thanks to like extra help by the government. So with the U.S. government support and support of governments around the world, that's why this vaccine was able to be developed so quickly.
Mm. Now, with this airstrike, what do you think would happen to the stock market? How what type of an effect it would happen now that they've done this airstrike over there in Syria?
Well, I think they'll wait and see. Um, but usually, airstrike means stocks go down, so it's
Right.
like uncertainty. Yeah, so it's going to cause some rattling, but if it's limited, like if it's this a certain base that's used by this Iranian militia, it'll be all right. I don't think it's going to be a long term effect.
Now, you've invested into the stock market, correct?
Right? Yeah.
Okay, so what's your deal and your take on foreign exchange and foreign stocks and Chinese companies? I mean, have you done any investments in Chinese companies and shares?
I did some just this year, but I invest more in indexes. So
Index, okay.
in 3 different ETFs that cover a whole variety of the world index of international stocks. So one's more focused on large caps and one was small caps. And but really for me, when you look at Chinese companies and the fact that um, they're not really publicly audited, you gotta have like skepticism on their profits and what the books are saying if you're going to
Mm,
invest in an individual company.
right, right. Um, my take on it is I don't well the only I'd say Chinese stocks I have is Neo.
Okay.
Uh because I've heard that Neo's it's doing it's expected to be like the next Tesla from what I've been reading about. And as I've seen right here, there's a couple of Chinese companies that's dealing with 5G networks that's supposed to be out, like Huey. It's one of them. Have you heard of this company, or it's a mobile device company?
No,
I've
I've
never
heard
heard about them either, but you
no.
know, apparently it's supposed to be something that's supposed to be the new thing booming. I wanted to ask you a question because I was talking about the game industry, with GameStop being on a rise again. What's your take on that, man?
I think it's I don't know. I think because it's like You see analysts say the stock is worth $16 and selling at $145. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, especially that spike that it did yesterday, and also with AMC. Now, from what I was reading from analyst views, they're expecting it to go up to $350 by next week.
Right.
So, but we all are expecting that big dip to happen eventually. So,
It's gonna pop. It's gonna.
yeah, eventually it's gonna pop. So it's kind of like a train that you just kind of get on and you just you jump on and you jump off. I guess it's one of those things that maybe we need to pay attention to closely, with GameStop, because I mean, and AMC, because it seems like they might have some promising things going on, but it's a proven fact that we as investors or private investors, we actually control the market. You know, it's not the big multi-billionaires from Wall Street like Warren Buffett, who has what companies. He has this one company, I forgot what's it called, Brathway, I think. I can't pronounce it right, but I mean, he's got a company that's what, 300 and something odd $1,000 per share.
Yeah.
Like who's really gonna buy that? Like who's got money out here to buy? And I'm still thinking to myself, I'm like, is this guy ever gonna do a split? Is he like what? I don't even think rich people or people who have multi-millions of dollars is going to invest. Well, maybe they might, just to gain some sort of profit, but I don't think multi-millionaires care about making $3,000 a day or two off of investing into shares, because if they're investing, let's just say, hundreds of thousands or a couple of million, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're expecting more gains of returns than $3,000.
Right.
But I was expecting that maybe he might do a split somewhere down the road. So, like Eli Moss. Eli Moss is he's like what, the richest man in the world now, right?
Right.
Yeah, because he thought about the people. Okay, he knew that we're the ones who control the market. So by Tesla doing another split, they did two splits now. This is the second split they went through, and I was able to catch the second split when Tesla went down to 421. Now Tesla's at what, 700 and something, but it gradually went up to 850. They're expecting Tesla by the end of this year to go up to $1,600. Now, if that does happen, they are also considering doing a split. Now, Eli Moss is also, he's kind of trolling the market too, man. He's messing with people's heads. He's telling people, hey, he's writing little encryption codes like Doggy Coin, and you got Snoop Dogg saying Doggy Coin. So next minute, everybody's like, oh, they're buying a whole bunch of coins because, they want to follow where the money is. But I've told people that you can't really take heed to a lot of these multi-millionaires and billionaires. They troll like normal people do on the internet. They troll just to get a reaction, just to see what people are going to do. But like I always say, when they go left, I go right. When they go right, I go left, because they like to mislead the people a lot. I mean, do you kind of see that situation going on?
Yeah, I see that. That's true. Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure you grew up with playing video games, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So lawmakers are trying to put this law in place where they're trying to ban Grand Theft Auto now. I grew up with playing in the 90s, Mortal Kombat, to Grand Theft Auto. Now, I never thought once about getting a gun and going out harming somebody because I saw somebody or a video game character do it. I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. So now they're trying to put a ban on Grand Theft Auto. This is one of the reasons why I believe that makers such as Rockstar Entertainment haven't been making or putting it forth on the new Grand Theft Auto 6 that rumors have been coming out, because they're trying to see what lawmakers are trying to do. But right now, legislative government. They're trying to put a ban on that. What's your input on it? I mean, do you think that video games do cause some sort of psychological violence in the community that get people to want to do things?
Well, not really, but sometimes. Well, sometimes a video game is actually real. Like when they flying those drones over Iraq, it looks like a video game, but they actually are controlling these un, what do they call those things, UAVs that have bombs and it could blow up people. So,
But that's Grand Theft Auto.
this was the stuff, man. Like, but I think I do think if parents are able to, monitor their children, it shouldn't be banned. You know,
Yeah.
these types of games. It's just you just have to put more parental guidance. That's all.
Yeah, but they have rated R symbol in a lot of these games, these video games that are out. But at the same time, you know what I think? Honestly, I just think it's just, like I said, lawmakers who are really past their prime and they never grew up off video games. So when they see these violent activities, they automatically think it's those kids in those video games. That's why they're doing all this craziness. So we got to put a ban on it. Do you think that America has become a little bit, just a little bit too insensitive on certain things?
Maybe a little bit, but I could see both sides. You don't want things to go too crazy, like this outright gore, and this is a game where you shooting up realistic people. That's too much.
Yeah, but if you look at it, Mortal Kombat, for instance, I mean, we grew up off of playing the video games at the slot machines of Mortal Kombat. Uh, that's what piqued our interest because we saw the fatalities. Because let's just be honest, we bought Mortal Kombat because of the fatalities. Now, it's something that was unprecedented. We never really experienced that in gaming history, where you see a man ripping off another man's heart out of his chest and squashing it, or a reptile eating a person's head and spitting out the bones. You know what I mean? But you don't expect people to actually do that in real life. That's why it's a fantasy. Video games are a fantasy. It's just like when they make horror films, it's a fantasy. It's for us, it's an entertainment of enjoyment of fantasy of, oh shit, it captures our eyes. Now, like you were saying, I totally agree that they need to have a little bit more restrictions when it comes down to that. But I feel that GameStop has been doing quite a good job because well, they don't card me because I don't look like I'm under 18, but like, to normal kids out there who are young, they do card them, and they do look and see what ages they are when they're purchasing these video games. But my thing is this: if you're going to blame the video games, like I was stating before, you might as well blame the movies that have violence in them. When you see a person like Steven Seagal back in the 90s, or Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator, shooting up stuff with machine guns and robots and killing people and stuff. Oh, I think we lost him. All right, we'll probably get him back. All right. Like I was saying, if you see people out there doing violent stuff on video, on hold on, let me try to get it. If you see people doing violent stuff on movies, you can't just, okay, all right, we got him back.
Get back.
Okay, cool. Well, like I was saying, like if you see stuff like violent things that's happening in movies, lawmakers really need to take into consideration, if you're going to ban video games because it's violence, you got to ban the movies too.
Right.
You got to ban the movies too. So, but if they're going to make a big hit on violent video games such as Grand Theft Auto, then it's going to affect companies who invested these games into the stock markets, like your EA Sports or EA, Rockstar, and all these other companies who solely depend on the consumers like me and you to buy these video games that are violent. So now you're going to see a huge decline in sales. Because now, first of all, there's going to be a lot of pissed off gamers, but I don't think lawmakers really give a shit. But they're out to just pretty much dump the blame on why these school shootings and violent activities happen. And they're trying to blame it on video games. And I just think that's just totally unfair. Because me being a video game head myself, I grew up off of video games, and I've never been encouraged by Grand Theft Auto for me to just go out there and shoot up some prostitutes or, or shoot up some neighbors and stuff like that, or hijack a car or something, or get into a helicopter and smash it into a building. I mean, come on, man! Like this is just ridiculous. I think America's just too insensitive when it comes down to those certain things. I think they should just continue with the age restriction. They want to move up the age restrictions. That's fine. Do so. But I think robbing people of their entertainment, I just think that's just a little bit too much when there's other things in this world that we need to worry about. You know what I mean? Because every day our government steals money from us all the time. And that's highway robbery. But I don't see anybody trying to do anything about it. You know?
Because like for me, I played a little bit of the fighting games growing up, like Street Fighter, and I played also like Mario Brothers. But then I got more into Madden, so that's my favorite game series.
Sports games.
Yeah, sports, NFL or NCAA.
Okay. NFL. But see, NFL is a contacting sport.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, NFL, you're pushing people. What's gonna be next? Oh, it's violent because it's showing guys pushing each other and hitting each other on the field. So what are they gotta ban football too? That's a contact physical sport, you know. But I guess they're looking at it more from the killing and stuff like that. But which video game that you've never played or have played that you haven't seen somebody getting killed? I mean, for crying out loud, in Super Mario Brothers, they kill people. You step on turtles and you kill turtles.
King Koopa, yeah, the turtles.
King Koopa, you spitting out fire. That's a violent activity. Oh my god. You know, how dare you play with fire and try to throw it at dragons, you know? How many video games they have out there? Call of Duty. I guess they're gonna ban that too because that's a violent game. What's that gonna? That's gonna encourage people, huh?
Like Fortnite and PUBG.
Fortnite is a violent game too because you killing people in Fortnite, but what they just disappear, poof, and they turn into coins. But you're using, you're using assault weapons, and you're using weapons to kill people. So it's, I don't know how they're gonna play this out. Like, which game that that what are they just gonna have racing games and basketball and baseball games? That's it, you know?
Yeah, probably, or just like more Candy Crush.
Candy Crush games. This is just ridiculous, man. Like I've never, like it's just America has just gotten so super sensitive, man, and it's just even with saying certain things now, even with YouTube. Like for instance, they just banned me from Facebook because I made a comment that a post that I was tagging. Now, it wasn't a disrespect to anybody. I just stated an opinion on the topic, and all of a sudden, Facebook was saying, "Oh, you can't be saying those words because it comes off as bullying. I just made an opinion on a statement. So I tried to appeal it. So I'm suspended for 3 days.
This were comments.
And it's just showing, like, just seeing how society is changing so much that you really don't have the freedom to really express yourself or have a freedom platform if there's something that you have a disagreement with, because all of a sudden it becomes like you're targeting somebody. So if you have a freedom to speak about something that you're heavily against, society will look at that as, well, you're targeting an individual for having a mindset. And I feel like social media and these platforms as it is trying to stop people from having a freedom of expression. And as you can see, as time keeps going, you start to see these laws come into effect. And people are not really realizing that your freedom of speech, your amendment rights are being taken away slowly and slowly and slowly. But people are not realizing that. Why do you think Facebook is having all these laws? I don't even really go on Facebook anymore, and I don't really post too many things because every single minute they want to ban you. It's sad though, but you really don't have a freedom of speech. And even on YouTube, you might not even have that much. You can't even say that much on YouTube, you know?
Yeah, that's terms of service, I guess.
So let me ask your opinion, man. So what are some things that you would look out for in the stock market? What are some things that uh do you have any idea, like any things you want to share as far as companies that, or something that's affordable for, like, say, small investors that we can kind of look out for this week? You have any ideas, any picks in mind?
Well, I can give you the tickers for those international ETFs I invested in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that would be dope.
so the one that's the large cap mostly of stock is VXUS, and that's done by Vanguard, and it's the total international index ETF has like about 7,200 stocks, and it's diversified over probably 50 countries.
Okay, so this is an international. Let me see if I can get that up on here. Uh, this is an international company, right?
Yeah, international exchange traded.
ETF. Vanguard. Okay.
And I guess for me, what I saw was that over the last 10 years, this averaged about a 5% rate of return, while like the S&P 500 was averaging about 11%. And usually the gap between international and the U.S. stock market is much closer, maybe 2% between the returns of each. So I see maybe over the next couple of years that the international companies have a range that they could grow to get closer to what the U.S. stock market is averaging in returns.
Hmm. So you believe that international stocks ETF is the way to go for the future?
Yeah, this like it's not a big play for me, but that's just like more speculative. But I see that as this room. There's like room for growth. I don't see it as like tapped out as say Tesla. Tesla to me is kind of hyperinflated. Like like with these international stocks, I see that it's more of undervalued right now. So you know these stocks have some room to actually get good gains.
Right. So you think that, in your opinion, you think that Tesla in the future could possibly be facing inflation?
No, no, but I guess Something like Tesla. It's looking good now, but you don't know if it's going to become like Yahoo or America Online, where it went up, up, up as a stock, and then it collapsed. That's something,
Right.
yeah, careful
That is true. I mean, some people were saying that about Tesla, but they've even said it about it years ago. But it's been pretty strong in the market, and everywhere I go, even if you just even step outside and just look around, and you just analyze and see where people are putting their money. It kind of gives you a clear indication, like, okay, where should I put my money into next? But
of.
um, this is just my opinion. Uh, I think electrical cars are going to be the thing of the future. I think Ford dealerships, GMC, a lot of these companies are going to start doing everything electrical, and also with our beloved president that we have today. uh, he signed out um, a lot of deals in dealing with project energy and solar energy, and trying to clean the environment and using everything electrical. So I do see a lot of things being in the electrical field. I mean, everything being very electronical within the next probably 5 to 10 years. I've also invested into robotic technology as well. I see what China is doing with artificial intelligence. I don't know if you're really a keen for that, or if that's something that sparks your interest, but I see robotic shares that are selling for pennies. I bought myself a handful of shares, about 50 shares of robotic shares. Like I said, I don't really have much to lose on that. I have more to gain because uh I did a small investment for long-term gains. So, I kind of put my gambling on it, and the same thing with cryptocurrency. But I kind of see those in the future. Um and I agree with you with the international stocks. I kind of see some big things happening, man. On an international wave of things, especially with trades from here to China.
Another ticker ETF I I invested into was VSS, and that's just basically the international small cap. So it's more volatility, but you have more chance for growth. So these are the smaller companies outside the U.S.
Right. Well, they're doing pretty good, man. But as you can see, this after hours, the market is crash as always. But what's your take on Bitcoin, man? Do you see any promising future with Bitcoin? I mean, people were talking about Bitcoin many years that it's a bust, and wouldn't get anywhere, and it's a waste of time and effort. But now it seems like Bitcoin is very promising. I mean, I've seen Bitcoin machines in local uh, retail stores now popping up. I see them in banks now, and even JP Mortgage even stated that, hey, we will never have anything to do with Bitcoin, which is digital currency, and now they have digital currency ATMs. So I I just think it's just real funny. Like, a lot of these multi uh multi-billionaire investing companies would say, well, we would never do any deals with anything that's dealing with electrical currency, but now they're doing I mean, we'll do anything with digital currency. Now they're dealing with digital currency. So what's your take on that?
I think Bitcoin is reaching the level where it's going to be considered a store of value. But with the other types of digital currencies, yeah, you just have to be careful because um, one thing about I used to take a little bit of programming in college, and
Right.
that a programmer could always put into a program is a backdoor. So even though it looks like the programming and the currency is safe, if that programmer wanted to, they could just come in there and just type in a line code and snatch everything, anybody's money or coins. So I just see it. You always gotta be aware of that.
Right. And I was a victim of that, unfortunately, back in because I don't know what I did. I was doing something with blockchain, but I lost my identity. Someone stole it. And I invested $300 into Bitcoin back in 2017. And at the time, a coin was going at 4 grand. I'll never forget it. And now it's at close to $50,000, and we're in 2021. And I invested $300. So just imagine how much money it is right now.
Right.
So from my estimations, from what I looked at, it's somewhere between 4,700 and $5,200 that I've made off of a $300 investment. But I no longer have it because it looks like a hacker was able to hack and take my funds, man, which sucks, you know?
Yeah, that does suck. That's the one thing that's a risk when something has no regulation. You know, there's no way to ask for help from agency just to investigate.
No. And I just don't like the fact that with blockchain, they don't really offer any type of an assistance because, well, they say, well, we give you a 12-phase password and that's it. Once you lose that password, which what it was connected with, it was an encryption code which was synchronized into my old phone that I had, which I lost my old phone, which had my security password in it, and I was trying to recover it. They won't recover it for you. They say, well, we don't have it. So I'm like, well, what type of customer service is this? I give you my driver's license, my my date of birth, my address. Like this is me. This is who I am. But unfortunately, it doesn't look very promising, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It kind of sucks, man. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's a total loss there. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, these coins, you just gotta you just gotta be careful. Eventually with anything else, but yeah, man. So you have anything else? Anything else you'd like to share before we go ahead and close off?
Um, Nothing else. It's good getting to talk with you.
All right, John, man. It's always good having you on here, bro.
All right. Have yourself a good night.
All
And
right, you too, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean that's about it. I don't know. I'm just carefully looking at the market. The market is looking kind of crazy, man. Like especially with GameStop, and I think my opinion, I'm gonna stick with AMC, and I'm gonna do more investments with AMC. Is one of the cheapest shares, and it looks like it's gradually going, you know, climbing up the ladder. I'm looking at a lot of movies that's coming out. I'm seeing that the economy is gradually, starting to get back on track and things are starting to move back up and starting to open up. Uh, Bitcoin looks very promising, but just like John was indicating, that there's other cryptocurrencies that we have to be careful of when we are investing into other cryptocurrencies, such as Doggy Coin and such. Now, I bought a shitload of coins with Doggy Coin only because I bought them with pennies worth. But even if I lose, I didn't really make such a big investment. So, but I got to be careful from that. But I do plan on putting more investment into Bitcoin because I think Bitcoin digital currency is here to stay. Uh, I do believe that we are expecting a big, humongous crash because it happens with every freaking 5, 10 years in the stock market. And, with cryptocurrency, it's always stood its ground while the market goes through their little turmoil of crashing. So uh my advice, I'm not telling people to do this, but I would definitely, put your money into Bitcoin. Bitcoin looks like uh is very promising for the future. I see what they're doing. I don't think they're going to replace the dollar entirely, but they're saying by 2036, that digital coin will replace the dollar. So who knows? We don't know. They have digital Bitcoin machines out here. If you go to your local stationery stores, you see Bitcoin. Just look around, people. When you go outside your doors and you go to stores, you go to retail stores, and you start to see. Just look at where people are spending their money. Just look at things that are changing around you ever since this pandemic, or as we start to get into the closing season of this pandemic, as we start to wind down and get back on to working and the economy gets back rolling. You're going to start to see a lot of new changes. I plan, this is what I plan on doing. I plan on putting more money into Bitcoin, a lot more money into Bitcoin now that I have a secure password and I know where I can get my money from. I'm dealing with Robinhood. Um, I plan on putting more money into cryptocurrency and into Bitcoin. Doggy coin, I'm just gonna leave it the way it is because I don't know. The highest I've ever seen Doggy coin go up to when it had a spurge was at 8 cents. But I'm not gonna sell my coins. I've got 5,000 coins. I'm not gonna sell it because this is exactly what happened with Bitcoin just 15 years ago, like 10 years ago or something. They said the same thing. Oh, there's no promising future for Bitcoin. It wouldn't go anywhere. There was a multimillionaire who bought 5,000 Bitcoins at $5 a piece, right? I think it was $5 or $4 a piece. And this was at the time where uh, cryptocurrency was just on a move and nobody saw the potential of Bitcoin. And look where it's at now. I remember Bitcoin when it was at $4,000 a coin. Now it's close to $50,000. That's unbelievable. Now, this is what I've got from analyst reviews and intel saying that Bitcoin is expected to reach $150,000. $150,000. Bitcoin is expected to reach $150,000 by 2025. So that's something to look out for. You know, you don't have to buy a whole goddamn coin because I can't afford a coin. If you can buy a whole coin, hey, all power to you. But even if you put in $300, $500, even $1,000, any type of money, you do a recurring bi-weekly, you put money. Just think of Bitcoin as in the stock market as your piggy bank, right? You keep recurring money, you keep taking money out of your paycheck, you put it in towards Bitcoin. You're going to see how gradually your money is going to grow throughout a period of time. And Bitcoin is expected to get to 150,000. So just imagine that you're putting all this money into the market and you wait about 5 years and that shit goes up to $150,000. That $300, $400 investment could soon turn into $40,000. You could turn into $50,000 from an investment of 400. So, I mean, you'll be surprised. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining the channel. As always, please like, subscribe, write your comments down. I know I don't got a lot of subscribers on this channel, but it's slowly growing, but you can do me this favor. I'm not even asking for donations. If you like to help support the channel, the link is in the description below with my PayPal information. But, I rather you guys share the information out, man, because I'm going to be doing more stock videos. I'll have some stock news and stuff like that. If you want me to put out some information that people should know about, what to look for the week, then definitely, hit me up on the Gmail account or hit me up on Facebook and, or you can express your opinions. This is everybody's show. We just get on here and we talk our mess when it comes down to the stock market in per se. I think tomorrow I'll come out with a live stream video. I'll get back into doing regular topics of what's going on in the world. During the week, I'll probably just kind of touch more on investment because you know, I'm definitely highly into investments. Um, if y'all, oh, let me show you guys something by the way too. Some stuff that I've done as far as my portfolio goes with this small account that I have. Uh, well, AMC, I did a I don't know if you saw, but I did a buy put. Um, I did a buy put to April 16th. So I pretty much bid for this market to go down. I bought it at $11, right? Right now the value of it is 13. So I put in a buy put and expecting the market to go down or to do a crash, be either on April the 16th or before, sometime before this date, which the market will crash. I'm expecting for it to go down. So I am actually bidding on the price to go down to a to it even well, I actually bid it for the striking price to go down, the break even price to go down to $11. So, but I don't expect for it to go down that low, but there's a possibility it could. There's a possibility that it could gradually go down to where my contract's going to be more value. So I'm going to try to do more buy puts versus buy calls and waiting close to the expiration date because I've noticed that when I do so, I end up losing the volatility and I end up losing money for some reason. I don't know. So like I said, I'm still in a learning process of doing buy calls and buy and sell puts and sell cover calls. But hey, we're all in this together. It's a learning experience. You know, there's some people who are professionals out there. I'm not a high professional, never claimed to be one, but I just show you what I did and what I do to make some money. You know what I'm saying? So I've made some money off of some calls. Within the last few hours, I made $73.44. But anyways, guys, as always, thank you all for joining the show. Make sure you guys get that likes, write your comments down. I do read your comments, share the video, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Oh yeah, love, peace, and chicken grease. Holla.